When I was a little girl, I lived on a farm in Douglas County, Illinois, with my brothers. And my brothers were never called anything but the boys. The grown-ups told us that there weren't supposed to be any coyotes out there anymore. The last ones had been killed with cyanide traps almost 20 years ago. Coyotes, not out here, not anymore. We know how to take care of coyotes, the ones that walk on 4 legs and the ones that walk on 2. But there was howling in the night. Just a little bit of howling. It was as if a coyote had wandered out there to test the air. Did you hear a coyote last night? A few people did. The rest laughed. And then some people started making coyote sounds at night just to make fun of the ones who heard the real coyotes. And soon the idea of a coyote out there was a joke that nobody took seriously, except the boys. They went out to find the coyote. And not only did they find pheasant feathers that a coyote had left, they found coyote hair on the barbed wire fence. A few silver hairs. The boys knew that they weren't from any animal that they usually saw around there. But where was the coyote now? The boys walked along the line fences where the grass was knee-high. Not there. They walked along the railroad track where there were small willows and rose bushes to hide under. Not there. They walked along the creek beds. Not there. They looked down the corn rows and in the alfalfa fields. Not there. They even climbed the windmill where they could see for miles in all directions. No coyote. In all their looking, they hadn't even seen a coyote track. All they had were some pheasant feathers and a few silver hairs. They knew they wouldn't be able to prove anything with these, so they threw the feathers away. But they kept the coyote hairs in a small jar where they could look at them whenever they wanted to. I said, "Let me see. Can I see?" "No." All right." We took turns sliding the coyote hairs back and forth between our fingers, trying to guess what a whole coyote would look like. The boys figured the coyote was being shy and hiding so well because it didn't trust anybody in its new neighborhood. They decided to change that. They found a dead chicken. Can I go? "No." And they took it to the spot where they'd found the pheasant feathers. The next morning, there were nothing but chicken feathers. They brought out a bowl of milk. "Can I go, please? Can I go?" "No." And a dead rat. The next morning, these were gone. "Hey, I saved my pork chop. See, from last night's supper. It's a perfectly good pork chop. Now, can I go?" "Okay." And some strawberries. And as we were leaving, we saw the coyote standing in the alfalfa field, watching us. It didn't run. It just stood there, as if it knew we were the ones who were bringing food every day. Wow. Look at him. Look at those ears. Look at those legs. We had never seen a wild animal that big in the fields out there before, and we just stood there watching it. "Now what do we do?" said one of the boys. The oldest boy said, "Well, I suppose we'd better go tell the grown-ups so they can set the cyanide traps." But I said, "No, no, 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 no. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. The coyotes are coming back."